Hey, good morning, Ken. It is Thursday, November 27th at 9:32, and it is Thanksgiving morning. Happy Thanksgiving, gobble gobble. Sherry and I are taking some time off, and I wanted to record a video to talk through the progress that we've made so far together. I think it's pretty impressive. Um, I'm doing a bunch of work in Replit. Some of this work was done in Perplexity Pro, some in ChatPRD, but I'm using as my main login tool Replit. Um, so I'm going to go into the app here and go to a new page, and this is the AI GovOps.Foundation. And so the first thing you can do is get started for free. And if you get started for free here, we have a sign up where you go through. Uh, Probably on topics of interest, we'll have some kind of a drop down box. Um, Verification hasn't been working very well this morning or yesterday, actually. I'm using an open source package to do it. We could do OTA, but I'm trying to keep the cost down because it is a nonprofit foundation. So anyway, you see how that works. Um, Go back to the dashboard. We've changed the core page. If you saw the PRD I sent is how many members do we have? What are the discussions? What are the trending discussions? What are the upcoming events? In spaces, we have some spaces based on the languages that we covered. By the way, we by default handle a bunch of different languages. Unfortunately, the translation isn't working perfectly yet. But for instance, Chinese is probably better than any of the other languages for translation. So we're using strings, messages, discussion boards, events, academic papers. Who are the members? Obviously, this is all sample stuff. Is there a paper of the day, which I'm probably going to hook from AI paper of the day. This is an interesting one. High risk when AI can kill. Report an incident is an idea that I have here. Here's the current regulations that we have. Uh, who are the influencers? These are influencers typically that have more than 100,000 folks out in the world, probably folks we should talk to potentially as uh, advisors. Here's the Insight Hub. This is where we have new proposals that we want to co-develop with folks. Here's a governance sandbox. This is where we actually will have code that people can download. This is a high-risk classifier, impact assessment, scoring functions. So a lot of really data science things around toxicity. Knowledge broadcast, these are just samples on YouTube. Presentations, same samples. And then most people can't get to the AI agent location. We're going to have these different roles that you and I will be the approvers for. They'll have autonomy, but they'll obviously have some guardrails. These are the ones I'm thinking of right now. Um, and these are pretty common agents from kind of other platforms, if you think about how people are doing it. Here's what the agent does. Here's the workflow. Here's the place that we would sit in for approvals. So we'd say, capacity alert, instant response, database backup, that kind of stuff. This is our dashboard that shows what actually happened on the site. Here's the agent logs, because I think we need to have immutable logging to see what's happened. This is the DevOps control deck, which, by the way, I think might be the best idea that's happened through this development is here's the platform hygiene, here's security and compliance, Here's the content health. Here's reliability and feedback. And I think that becomes a checklist manifesto kind of thing. In fact, I think that probably might be our first kind of shippable app. Here's the overall status of the platforms, how we think about OKRs, etc. User management. Here's the kinds of users that we have. We have moderator, member, guest, and administrator. You and I will be administrators. And then how we built this is probably my favorite presentation so far, which is literally everything that I have done as we've been talking about this, as we've made changes. This is everything that we have done so far in the last sort of 72 hours, kind of over the weekend. And it's a fascinating thing when you think about how we think about generative AI. Lots more to talk about. Here's our mission and values. Our co-founders, interesting, none of my agents will scrape LinkedIn, so it turns out to be kind of interesting that it thinks that you are a different name than we call you, because you are in fact R.K. Johnston, but we do call you Ken. It thinks I'm still a P97 network, so not at General Motors. And then here's the settings for users, privacy settings and appearance. So lots to do, lots has been done. I think we're making progress, and it's great working with you. I'm excited that the foundation has been incorporated and we've got officers. So wahoo, appreciate your work. Thanks again. Take care. Bye-bye.